Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to this AFK journey video. So with the latest release of Phraesto, we have a whole slew of questions with regards to the Hypogean and the Celestial units, who to invest in, who works at one copy, whether or not I'm a light spender, I'm a free-to-play player, should I go for this unit, should I go for that unit? So I'll answer all these questions in the updated which Celestial Hypogean unit you should focus on for the Song of Drive update. So I have another video by the similar genre that is released on Global, which covers the 4 units, Dionel, Berial, as well as Reiner and Scarlita. And in today's video, we are gonna discuss this topic with the addition of the new Hypogean unit, whether or not that order has changed and whether or not the opinions for the various units has changed. So I'll start off with the must-have unit for everyone, which is Reiner. So Reiner is a must-have for every group of player, right? Be it free-to-play, light spender, value spender, or the whales, because this unit is a must for Dream Realm rankings. You need him to have a chance to even get good rankings in most cases, so you will minimally need him at Mythic Plus for the EX weapon damage buff. So this skill is very important for Dream Realm side of things, so Mythic Plus is a minimum for him no matter which group of spender you are, okay? And whether or not you should go beyond Mythic Plus, I'll say depends on the competitiveness of your server and whether or not you are using him outside of Dream Realm. Because Reiner's EX10, for example, right, EX15 over here, EX10 skill, sorry, has the damage reduction on your switch ally, which is very good for Arena as well. And for the Supreme Plus skill, you are able to buff the ally's attack. Although it's only a 4%, but the additional stats that Reiner will get from the Mythic Plus to Supreme Plus tier will also boost your damage output in Dream Realm, will also boost his efficiency in Arena, will also make him useful for PvE purposes. So depending on how much you're using this unit, depending on how competitive the server rankings for Dream Realm, for content pushing, or for whatever PvP related contents that you are using Reiner in, you can decide whether or not to spend additional resources to pull for his copies to get him to Supreme Plus. Okay, but the bare minimum for everyone is Mythic Plus for this unit because you use him every single day and he is a must on everybody's account. So that's for Reiner's case. Now, I'll continue with Dionel and Berial's first. So for Dionel and Berial, I'll say these 2 units in terms of their usage, they are definitely not for the free-to-play players. They are definitely not for the low spenders because yes, they are amazing in Arena, but they require a lot of stats to work. And Dionel, to be more specific, is one of the strongest Arena character right now, because if you're able to pump him up to the Paragon tiers, his efficiency becomes really immense, right? His power level just spikes up like crazy because of true damage, because of AoE damage, because of repositioning, because of his own damage output, because of all the buffs you can put on him. This unit is gonna be really good if you have the resources to get him to a high tier. What do I mean by a high tier? Minimally, you need the Supreme Plus skill because the Supreme Plus skill gives him a lot of stats to boost his DPS while increasing his execution, which is very important to burst down people. At the same time, if you can get him to the Paragon tier, it will be even better because this will increase his overall damage output because he's an AoE damage dealer. And then you will need, right, the resources to sort of build up his supports, such as the likes of Scarlita, such as the likes of Smokey, such as the likes of Damien. So you need all the support to maximize his Divine Com efficiency. That's why this unit is strong, but he's not very efficient for the low spenders. So if you're in the free-to-play low spender category, I won't advise you to go for him. But if you want to build him for your cool design, for the mega late game, you can do that. But there's a possibility by the time you get him to a working tier or a working power level, he might have been power crapped. So do take note of that. For Berial's case, Berial, I'll say it's probably the lowest priority by I'll say like everybody's standard, because Berial, as compared to Dionel has one of the strongest wallet com, the Divine Com, to back him up. Berial, yes, Berial exists in the Divine Com, but Berial is not a core piece, right? Berial is like an additional add-on. This unit is specifically PvP centric. Dionel's case, right, you can still run him in certain PvE contents where you need his AoE prowess, where you need his massive burst potential. But for Beril's case, I don't see a lot of people running Beryl in PvE contents. And this unit requires even more stats than Dionel, because this unit is a melee unit that runs on the front line to the enemy. So if he's too frail, he dies very quickly and he's not able to be disruptive based on his kit. So he's a disruptive sniper, a disruptive like a semi-carry, right? In most cases, also a very powerful Zoo unit when you combine him with Florbell. But similar problem with Dionel, right? It's a very expensive unit. You need to build the team for him. His best team right now would probably be the Florbell Zoo. So you need Florbell built up, right? You also need Damien. You also need Torrent built up. And you might even need your Hewin built up. Or you also need Scarlita built up as well. So this unit, together with Dionel, I'll say they are the more Whale Kraken category. They are the lowest in terms of priority for the general player base. But for whales who want to excel in PvP purposes, these two units, they are two of the strongest in that game mode specifically. So that's my, I'll say, like, my opinions about them. Didn't change much from the global release. They still remain the same, right? These two units, they are extremely powerful if you get them to the Paragon tier because of how the rivalry stats work as well as how the kit work. But anything before that, they are still okay at Supreme Plus, but obviously they're not going to be the best. So that's for Dionel as well as Beril's case. So with regards to Phraesto as well as Scarlita, I think one of the most commonly asked questions recently is, should I go for Scarlita or should I go for Phraesto? So the answer to the question is, how much are you willing to commit to the contents they are good at? How much do you value their versatility? Because both Scarlita as well as Phraesto, they need a certain tier to work. Phraesto will need at least the Legendary Plus for his massive defense boost, and if you want to maximize his frontline tanking potential, you need to get him to Supreme Plus. This is a massive shield number to start the battle with. His job is a frontline tank that can tank through most of the late game contents. One of the strongest deficit pushing tanks right now. Very good if you need a tank to just soak up damage to buff up your team while taking damage for your team. So this unit is for that role. Whereas for Scarlita's case, Scarlita is generally like a late game messiah kind of carry because this unit has stuns, has true damage, has the ability to buff up your teammate, has the ability to provide shield for them based on her stats. So more stats equal more buffs. More stats equal more stats on your ally. While also the most important part which makes her an insanely powerful late game character is her insta-kill ability. So this insta-kill bypass Torrent, bypass Igor, bypass Brutus. So if you are talking about PvP centric characters, Scarlita is probably one of the best, one of the most versatile in that game mode, right? Dionel is very good in the Divine Com, but Scarlita is way more versatile. You can use Scarlita in Divine Com, you can use him with Iron, Arden, you can use him in your Mauler team, you can use him for your Rush teams, right? This unit is able to make a lot of units work in Arena because she's able to buff, she's able to semi-carry, she's able to control, but everything is built on the context that you can get her to Supreme Plus, right? So that's where I mean by how much are you willing to commit to them? Because unlike Reiner, right? Reiner only needs M plus to be efficient. Scarlita will need Supreme Plus to be efficient, right? Phraesto will need Legendary Plus to be efficient at the very least, but would definitely prefer the Supreme Plus buff because he's a frontline tank. He needs a lot of stats to survive, to do damage, as well as soak up damage for the team. So for Phraesto's case, I think Phraesto is more whale centric compared to Scarlita, because Scarlita, I would say it's a lot more flexible in different game modes. Because Arena, she's good, she has a PvE team that she's good in, she's like the core of that team, it's called the Scarlita team. And for the Dream Realm side of things, I think there are certain bosses which she will start excelling at because of her true damage potential. So just in terms of overall value, right, I think Scarlita is a lot better if you want to commit her to Supreme Plus, right? Do take note that Phraesto as well as Scarlita, they are okay, they can be used at one copy, but they're honestly not very good, right? First of all, Scarlita doesn't get true damage, she doesn't get insta-kill, and she doesn't get the buffs for your ally, so not very good. Phraesto, even worse, because at one copy, yes, this unit has buff, this unit has debuff and a little bit of damage, but he won't be able to tank as well. He won't be able to do what he wants to do primarily. So that's why you need to commit to them. So the question to your answer, whether or not it's Scarlita or Phraesto, is how much are you willing to commit to the contents they are good at. So Phraesto, it's for content pushing, massive deficit push, having an edge in terms of resources. For Scarlita's case, more so of general versatility, late game arena messiah, usage in different game modes, and generally being more versatile and enabling more units moving forward. So I would say, if you are somebody who is more of a whale, who is more competitive by nature, then Phraesto is going to be like your go-to, because he is going to change your AFK pushing experience. He is going to push through massive AFK deficit. So where I'm at right now, at least for this account, right, we are currently at stage 1000 plus. Every team that we get on the record, I'll show you guys, right, they are using the Phraesto team. So this team is the late game team, but you guys can see I'm also running Scarlita on my account. And if I move to the other side of the replay, you guys can see for yourself, right? Phraesto, right? As well as Phraesto over here. So there's also Scarlita over here as well. So both of them, they are decent for PvE, right? And Scarlita is more versatile compared to Phraesto. But Phraesto will be very crucial if you want to be competitive for this side of things. Okay, if you care about your rankings, if you care about all this AFK stage progression, if you're a mega kraken, then I'll say Phraesto will be of a higher priority. But in most cases, top 1 Reiner to M+, top 2 Scarlita to Supreme+, and then Phraesto. Or you guys can obviously get Reiner to M+ if you just begin the game, then start saving up for the next potential Celestial Hypogean unit, which is known as Talin from AFK Arena. So that unit, I'm not very familiar with her, so I'm not going to speculate how good she is, but a lot of the old AFK Arena players have commented on my videos or my streams, or even DM me and tell me how powerful she is. So you guys can go for Reiner M+ and save out your resources and wait and see whether or not Talin will be your cup of tea. So that is a third option. Okay, so you can go Reiner Scarlita, Reiner Phraesto, or Reiner save up for Talin. So depending on which route you want to take, you guys make the decision on your own, and hopefully this video is helpful for you guys. As usual, do remember to like and subscribe to see more AFK journey contents daily, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!